Hey guys, I just came back from the premiere of Batman vs Superman a few hours ago. It was absolutely a disaster. I'd give it 1 out of 10 and I would advise to not watch it. Just kidding, I'm still feeling it. This movie was goddamn awesome, intense. I cannot wait to see it again tomorrow. And I personally think this Thor is the best superhero movie after The Dark Knight. In this video, I'm not here to review the movie, so don't you worry about any spoilers. I'm just here to address an issue that made me really mad. So, when the first screening of the movie came, I was surfing the internet to know about the first reaction and reviews, and most of the general audience were like 11 out of 10. Then a day later, the critic reviews started flowing in, and those reviews were astonishingly negative. However, since at that point I myself didn't watch the film, I respected their opinion and decided not to make a single comment trolling them before I actually see the movie. So, today I went into the theater with my expectations slightly affected by those reviews, but being the guy I am, I really didn't care. I just wanted to enjoy the movie, and the rest is history. The movie is properly paced, they introduced many characters in this movie, and still they maintain the time very well. They have my respect. The story itself is not a sacrificing one for future, but it is an excellent independent story itself. I'm not in the mood of actually reviewing the movie at the moment, but from one superhero fan to others, I can say this movie is legendary and you must watch it. And Henry Cavill aka Superman also said, "We don't give a fuck about what the critic thinks, only the audience matters to us." This is basically the explicit version of what he said. The exact quote of Henry Cavill was, "The interesting thing is that we get the critics who have their personal opinions, and the things about personal opinion is that they always come from a place, and there's a preconceived idea which you have to get past a critic before you start writing your article or your review, and that affects everything. What is really going to matter, I believe, is what the audience says, because they're the ones who are buying tickets. They're the ones who want to see more of this kind of story or not, and so the audience voice is the loudest, and after the weekend the audience, at least partly, will have spoken. Generally, I don't prefer making such direct comments or statements that sounds too conspiracy-like, but after watching BVS and then reading the critic reviews and reading once again, I'm forced at this point to make such statements. That the critics are sold out. It's 100% obvious that the reviews are biased. I don't know why. I don't care why. If it is because certain commentators influence them, or because they themselves want to maintain good connection with certain studios of which are more regular and facility providing to them, or if it is because they wanted some attention, or if they are just releasing their sad life rages on this BVS reviews. Some, not all, critics were like, you know, BVS is dark and not colorful, and then hints there are certain colorful superhero movies coming out soon and we should skip this one and all. I just hate how they set a standard of how a superhero movie should be and then rated BVS based on the standard they themselves set. However, whatever the reason is not important to me, but I'm 100% sure that the critic reviews are biased and doesn't make any sense at all. There are literally bullshit movies that have more than 50% rating and some certain rotten websites I don't feel like mentioning at the moment. Regarding this, Amy Adams said, "I know that Jack doesn't make the movies, or none of us are making the movies for the critics. You can go into it with that perspective. I know we really hope the fans like it, and so far the reaction has been really positive on that front. If you're interested in a film, you should see it and form your own opinion rather than just going on the word of somebody else." I just think people these days complain too much. Maybe they should enter the theater with the expectation of enjoying a movie instead of minutely observing each and every frame to find the slightest of flaws and the OMG, this 2 seconds is comic contradictory. Sometimes I prefer how the non-comic book fans enjoy these movies. There's a theory that if too many people around you says a particular movie sucks, some and actually many of us get our thoughts and on that movie influenced negatively, vice versa. Since the BVS is like a revolutionary movie and is the foundation of DC cinematic universe for like the next 10 years, I believe there might have been this desperate attempts on critic reviews and even user reviews might have been manipulated. There are too many people these days that pretend they know a lot about movies but deep inside they feel they don't. So they largely depend on others' opinion before expressing their own. Many people are there waiting to be told how they should feel about a movie. So these critic reviews do actually have real impacts. A person whose mind is filled with such negativity is more likely to enjoy the movie less than he would originally and might end up saying it's okay but it's not good enough to watch it second time. Bam! They're now affecting the records. So I request all the comic book fans to not let anyone tell you how a movie is. Go watch it and decide it by yourselves. I'd like to end with quoting Zack Snyder on this issue. I'm a comic guy and I made the movie based as much as I could on that aesthetic, and so I don't know how else to do it 100%. So it is what it is. That's all for now. I'm the Fan Guy. Subscribe to my channel and be in touch.